Hey everybody, Tony Gohard here once again for Punk's Doing Stuff, and I just kind of decided to do this video because I haven't done one of these videos in forever. So this is going to be a cooking video about making stew, because I have some ground beef that's been in the fridge forever, and best thing to do with that would be to turn it into stew. So I'm going to gather up my stuff and then pop back in and show you guys what I've done. So yeah, I kind of forgot that this was on the stove and it was turned on. So it's burnt on the bottom part over here. I'm just going to try and cut that off because, you know, the rest of the meat is still usable. One of the kids threw up, so they had to get put into the bath. But I'm just going to fucking save this part. Damn it. It's not even cutting good. I'm trying to just cut off the black. It doesn't matter. I've got a pretty good size hunk of ground beef here that's still good. So I'll just try and save what I can from this. Yeah, it's still sizzling because this thing is still hot, even though it's off. Oh, I just burned my thumb. But yeah, essentially just drop that in there and, you know, chop it up as it cooks. And then that'll be good. And I need to get this damn grease off my hands before I get to the next bit. Okay, so now this stuff is starting to cook up, and just in case anybody was wondering why I had a fucking pan right here that was already lined with foil and ready, was because I am also making burgers at the same time as I'm doing this, because, you know, why the fuck not? I'm busy all the time anyway. So what we have here is onion, and, you know, you're going to need some diced onion, and if for some reason you don't know how to dice an onion, you cut it in half. See, this is another half. And then you'll slice it like this. This part is already sliced, it's just all together still. And then you will, you know, just go along the edges like that. For stew, you can do diced onions, you can do onions put in quarters, you can do onion rings, whatever. It's all gonna get put in there together. And this might even be too much onion for what I'm doing, but that is that. And I've also got some other stuff that I'm throwing in. Some carrots. I use baby carrots because I only have to cut it once, if I even cut it, which I probably won't. Probably just throw the whole thing in like that. Also I have some diced tomatoes right there, can of diced tomatoes, so that's going to go in there. And then also some potatoes. In stew you can do pretty much whatever you want, but you know, normally I'll use red onions. This time I'm using red onions. Normally I'll use red potato because I like those and they're good. But this time I'm going to use russet potatoes, which are still good. So I'm going to finish cutting all this shit up, cooking that. And I'm not going to drain it. Lots of people do drain it, but I like to just use the grease that comes from the ground beef because it's really flavorful for stew. So I'm going to do that stuff, and I'll be back once I get that taken care of. Alright, so the ground beef is pretty much good. Some other stuff that you're going to want to put in here is going to be Worcestershire. I don't even know if you can see that. Drop bits of Worcestershire in there, just like a pretty good amount. And then some Tony's. You don't have to use exactly these seasonings. You can use whatever you want, really, because like I said before, it is stew, chili, stew, whatever you want to call it. So basically anything can go in there. So got some garlic powder, drop a bit of that in there, and then just for the hell of it, some hamburger seasonings. So we'll drop that stuff in there, and then give it a good stir, and then after that I'm going to drop all of this stuff in here. I can't even see what I'm looking at. Onions, got that chopped up. I think I might just leave the juice inside the tomato stuff while I drop it in there, and just because I'm also going to put some jalapenos in there. So I'm going to throw all that together and then let it sit for, I don't know, like an hour or two or something. Just so that way everything gets really tender and good. Because those carrots and the potatoes are going to take kind of a while for that to soften up. So I'm going to do that and, I don't know, do something with these burgers. So everything didn't fit into that one pot that I had. So I put some of the stuff in here. Some of the tomato, a little bit of potatoes, some carrots, and a little bit of the ground beef. So I'm just going to have to do those two things separate, and then once I finish, I'm going to have to put them all inside this big ass bowl and mix it up pretty good. So that's what that is going to be. Turn into a lot more stuff than I thought. But I still have to season this one and put all the other crap in it that I put in the other one. So that way whenever I put them together, it doesn't taste too weird when they're all mixed together. So I'm going to do that, and I'll be back after a long ass time. Alright, so it's about 2 hours later that stuff has been cooking. Roughly, I don't even know what time I started it, and I don't know what time it is now. All I know is that it's been quite a while because I had time to be able to make those burgers, plate it up, get the kids fed, eat, and then here I am. So I'm still doing the chili, chili, stew, whatever you want to call it. I got those. I'm going to put them together inside this big ass bowl because I had said that it didn't fit. So, you know, we've got this guy right here and then this one, which is also full. I'm going to try not to burn myself because I have hot oil right there. But I'm going to set this guy right there. And then, actually I should probably have it facing that way so that you can see all that deliciousness. Yeah. Yeah, there's going to be plenty of room in this bowl. So, we got that, the first bit, and yeah. Oh, that looks good. That looks damn good. So, I'm going to give it a good mix, and then put some of it in a bowl for myself. Whenever you do this, you know, you can put whatever. You can put cheese and stuff on top after you got it in a bowl. Throw some extra pepper, some loose jalapenos or whatever. Actually, I had a deeper thing for doing this, a ladle. I'm going to look for that and be back. I see that. Okay, I found the thing, this big ladle. It's plastic. I wish it was metal because, you know, metal is way, way better whenever it comes to stuff like this. This thing just kind of bends. But at any rate, this isn't a video about a ladle. This is a video about some delicious, delicious stew. So we got that. Top that off with a bit of cheese. Throw a couple of jalapenos on there. We'll just put 3. And then there. That's what that looks like. Pure awesomeness. And now, for the taste test, this stuff is still going to be extremely hot. You can see all the steam coming off. Well, you might not be able to on the video, but I can see a whole lot of steam coming up. So we're just going to try and get a bite with a little bit of everything on there. Gotcha. Ooh, almost took up a whole piece of that potato. Give it a blow because it is definitely hot. And that is awesome. So there we go. Just a quick, well, not a quick, I should say a very basic stew or chili, whatever you want to call it. Point is, you can put anything you want in there, any type of vegetables, any type of meat, and you can just, you know, do whatever the fuck you want. I don't even have a recipe for this. I just thought I wanted to throw all this crap together and get that ground beef cooked because it had been in the fridge for quite a while. Either way, so if you ever have a crap load of time, or let's just say you're busy, you can throw that and, you know, kind of forget it, stir it every now and then, forget it, stir it every now and then, and then it'll be good. So hit the like button, subscribe. Catch you guys on the next video. I don't know when the next time I'm going to do a cooking video, but who knows.